Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we will cover the best and easiest way to win the civil war as Azad Hind India, in one of the new paths added with Graveyard of Empires. It is the perfect introduction to what is coming next week with a full country guide. If that sounds interesting, then this is the right video for you. But even if you're not particularly interested in India, check out the video because I think you will find the little tricks we're going to use to be quite enjoyable. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the comments and make sure to join our Discord to meet our amazing community. Of course guys, as usual, if you enjoy the content I make, please do not forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing and leaving me a comment. I plan to make more dedicated civil war guides, so if there is any country you would like me to cover, please make sure to let me know in the comments. Now, as we all know, Graveyard of Empires is rough, there is no way around it. Many of the new paths feel underwhelming, and that's exactly what I thought about Azad Hind India as well, at least at first. However, after dedicating way too much time to it, I came up with the perfect strategy. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, at the very start of the game, we're going to select all of our armies and we're going to disband all of them. This will make our rivals much weaker in the civil war. A little cheesy? Yes, of course it is, but as India, we do what we must. The next trick is a much more interesting one. So we're going into occupied territories, and since for this strategy we need the resistance to be as high as possible, you will understand why later, we're going to pick the occupation law harsh quotas. Now, you might be wondering, why do we pick harsh quotas when it actually decreases the resistance target by 40% instead of simply picking no garrison, which increases it by 40%. And yes, no garrison was the best choice before the developers decided to remove it entirely from this path. The funny thing is that it doesn't even say it in the description of the focus, but after completing this focus, you will no longer be able to use no garrison as your occupation law. Still though, why are we picking harsh quotas instead of something that decreases resistance less, like local police force? The advantage of harsh quotas is that it decreases compliance the most, and we need to remove compliance from some of the occupied provinces we already control, as we have very high compliance in there, and compliance reduces massively the resistance target. As for that 40%, we're going to use another trick for that. When it comes to the garrison template, we're going to pick armored divisions. Except we have absolutely no tanks as India, which means that garrisons will end up being unfulfilled, resulting in up to plus 10% resistance target instead of the expected minus 40% one. But more on this later, as it will take some time for it to ramp up. We're going to keep Aden as we will keep it in the civil war. And then on events like these, we're always going to try and reduce compliance when given the option. We absolutely want to get rid of Freeman, so we're going to pick Victor Hope, as this guy has these very bad modifiers for us, such as the reduced resistance activity chance. Our first pick with political power is going to be the silent workhorse, as we need as much political power as possible in the upcoming months. Our second highest priority in terms of political power though is to get the army reformer expert. This will give us enough army experience to complete our scheme about garrisons. So as soon as we get to 10 army experience, we are going to change our armored template to have only tanks in it. In this way we can make sure that garrisons are completely unfulfilled since we have no tanks. So now if we go and check our occupied territories like this one, you can see harsh quotas effect scaled by 0% due to garrison fulfillment plus 10%. So in short, instead of the default minus 40% to resistance target, we get a plus 10%. And this would be exactly the same for any occupation law we pick. As you can see, we no longer have no garrison, which of course would be better. It would be a plus 40%, but that's not available. So all of the other ones are the same. Harsh quotas is the best because it's the one that decreases compliance the most. In addition to that, for our strategy, we're going to pick all focuses that increase the resistance target, such as this one and this one. You can find the full list up to the civil war in the description of the video. Speaking of which, after completing this focus, we will be able to pick these new special decisions. Now, by spending 20 political power, we can temporarily lose our core states. This completely destroys our economy, which sucked anyway, but it allows us to ramp up resistance almost everywhere. And so for the easiest possible setup, we're going to pick this decision in every single province except Delhi, we're not going to pick, East Punjab, we're not going to pick, Bastar, we're not going to pick, and Arunachal, we're not going to pick. First of all, I very much apologize to my Indian friends for my terrible pronunciation. Now, we leave out these states in particular for a couple of reasons. Well, first of all, because we need to save some political power. 20 political power each is a lot of political power, and we will need to save some for some other important decisions later on. Moreover, the states we leave out are strategically chosen to have easy-to-take victory points, such as in Delhi and in East Punjab, you will see later with the civil war, or no victory points at all, such as the other two provinces. So this will make capitulating democratic India incredibly easy. Now, it doesn't matter much in which order you pick these decisions. I usually start from the bottom and go up this way. Just make sure not to pick the ones I said to avoid. And then as you get more political power, keep picking all of them. Now, when you don't have the reduced compliance option in these decisions, always pick the ones increasing war support. From now on, we want to save political power, because later on we're also going to pick these other decisions, but not for now. So for our last step, we need to pick this focus. However, we need 50% war support. We don't have it yet, but in just a few days, this is perfectly timed, Japan will declare war on China, and that will be enough to get to 50% plus war support. So just wait a couple of days, and then you can finally pick this focus. Now, once this focus is done, we will be in a civil war, and before that happens, we still need to do a couple of things. So for our final step, once we're almost done with this focus, we will pick this new decision in all of the provinces below 65% resistance. So go to the resistance map mode and be ready to pick these decisions in all provinces below 65%. Now, there is a little bit of RNG as to which provinces will be below and which ones will be above, but the decision gives us a total of plus 60% resistance, so we are covered either way. Now, when the resistance is above 65%, we will ensure that these provinces stay on our side when the civil war triggers. Moreover, the higher the resistance, the more divisions we get at the beginning of the war. So having very high resistance will not only make it much easier to win the civil war, it will also provide us with a large army right after it. So it is well worth the huge investment of political power. Usually you need to spend around 250 political power to make all provinces above 65%. So let's go on and do that. As you can see, most of them will go all the way up to 100%. And there we go. Look at this resistance target in all provinces. Now there is only one last thing left to do, and that's to complete the focus and trigger the civil war. There we go. So, once the focus is done, you will be in a civil war, and if you did everything correctly, you should be in a very good spot to win it. First of all, we get a huge army thanks to all the resistance. Look at these 87 divisions. On the other hand, since we disbanded our initial army, the British Raj is left with 1 to 8 divisions, so basically nothing. We actually have a bigger army than the UK at the moment. Moreover, we already control most of India, having left them only with these few victory points, easy to take ones, and these provinces without victory points. However, the job is far from done, because the UK and all of their puppets will join them and will help them, so we actually need to win this civil war very quickly. Now, thanks to our focuses, we have some extra divisions in here. You can see them here, here, and here. And that's very cool because we will be able to keep this land even after the civil war. So we should first of all split off these divisions from the rest. It should be a total of 12, including these ones, and the 2 which are in here. And ideally we want to micro these divisions a little bit to try to fully take these provinces here. And it's particularly important to take Sri Lanka here. And you don't need to do much else with these divisions. As for the ones we have in India, now we want about 24 of them to take the important victory points in here. So you can create an army here. You can give them a regular front line, an offensive line into here. It's gonna be a bit bugged because it's always a bit bugged. Now make sure we have 24. I would say maybe these ones we can give to them. And that's perfect. So these guys will take care of the victory points in here. Then we want about 10 divisions to take care of Bastar in here. Then we want all of the divisions we have on this front to form a full back line. Now ideally we want a bit more. So something like 19 divisions, that should be fine. And we can set them on a fallback line in here. Now, it doesn't matter too much where you deploy them exactly. The important thing would be not to lose this victory point. We don't want to give any victory points to India, so protecting victory points is the only important thing. They shouldn't be able to push in here because we will defend and defeat actually India too fast for them to do anything. The remaining part of the army, I usually set them on area defense to protect from naval invasions. If you did everything correctly, France should not be in it. But just in case, it's good to have some divisions along the entire coast. Now, we can also promote Bose to be our marshal. He's pretty good, at least offensively, so we can use him as the marshal. And then we don't have many generals, but I recommend using the best one in here and the second best one in there. And that's okay. Always make sure to pick the highest motorization priority. It's particularly important here. Also aggressively execute battle plans because we need to be fast. You can also pick the offensive doctrine. And we can go on to pick all of the army spirits. We have low-level generals, so bold attack is convenient. Tip of the spear, we're going to use it later in the strategy, and logistical focus is always amazing. Now, thanks to our focus choices, we also have some planes, which we can deploy in here. It's not much, but it's better than nothing, and actually India has nothing, so this will give us the air superiority where we need it. Then make sure everybody's using railways. We want to move into position as fast as possible. As you can see, all of the allies are joining. But first of all, they don't defend Delhi at all. So you can just walk into Delhi from here. It's gonna be fine. You can micro your divisions a little bit. As you can see, they don't have divisions. So there isn't much we need to worry about. And keep in mind that the war will be over the moment the British Raj capitulates. We don't care about anyone else. Now, it's a bit bugged because as you can see, we just took Delhi, which should be 30 victory points. And yet it seems like it doesn't matter at all. So we will need to take Amritsar. A bit weird, if you ask me. Looks a bit bugged, but yeah. Well, that comes as no surprise, right? It's Graveyard of Empires after all. So in here we can start attacking them right away. We don't need planning. We don't need supplies. We just need to take the city as fast as possible. Start the second offensive in here as well. You can manually do it. Now there are no victory points, but it still counts as land, so it's better to take it. Don't be shy to use a force attack. Again, the priority is to be fast. And we're almost done already. Look at how fast we were. 100, that's it. The British Raj is down. So as you can see, this strategy is incredibly effective because the civil war is already over. In a couple of days, we will get the message to offer wide peace to the UK. And of course, we're going to do that as we don't have means to get to the UK for now. So we can accept a peace offer from the UK. And what that does is it gives us all of India, of course. We also take all of Sri Lanka. And we get to keep the land we took in here. Not this one, for some reason, but we keep the rest, which is pretty cool. And in addition to that, we also get to keep our huge army. It's quite incredible how we built an army out of nowhere. So it is now time to rebuild our industry, which still sucks, and to expand in the region. But that's for next week in the full guide. So guys, this was the best and easiest way to get Azad Hind India and to win the civil war. Now, of course, make sure not to miss the full country guide next week, as we will be taking India from being a crippled, weak country to becoming a major power. As usual, guys, if you enjoy the content I make, please do not forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and leaving me a comment. What did you think about our very Machiavellian strategy? This is one I'm very proud of. It's very tough to get Azad Hind India to work, and I love the little tricks we used. A bit cheesy, yes, I will admit it, but fun cheesy and totally right, considering that they removed the no garrison option from us for absolutely no reason. That doesn't make any sense. So we are rightfully getting back at them by using all these dirty little tricks. And also, guys, make sure to let me know in the comments if there is any other civil war you would like me to cover in future guides. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye bye!